Hey foodies, let me show you how to make the best Guyanese pine tart, a delicious sweet treat. Let's get into the recipe. Alright guys, let's start by making our pineapple jam. To a pot, I added some pineapple chunks. I'm using the canned pineapples, but feel free to use the fresh if you like. I will follow up with some pineapple juice. You can use water if you like, but make sure to add a bit more sugar. Here I will add my sugar and then I will follow up with some salt, cinnamon, and nutmeg. We will give that a stir, cover, and allow it to simmer on medium-low heat until the pineapples are nice and tender and the liquid has reduced. Once the pineapples have softened and the liquid has reduced, we'll go ahead and blend this. I will be using my hand blender, but feel free to use a stand blender if that's what you have. So I like mine in between smooth and chunky, so that's how I'll blend it, but feel free to blend yours the way you prefer. Once it is, to my desired texture, I will now go ahead and add my flavors in last. I will be adding some vanilla extract and almond extract. So I'll add those in, give it a stir, and that's it. We will turn the heat off, set this aside, and allow it to cool down. Once it cools down, it will thicken up even more. So allow it to cool completely before we move on to the next step. Now let's prepare the pastry dough. Here I have some all-purpose flour, and to that I will add salt and sugar. You want to just make sure that's well combined and it's evenly distributed throughout the flour. Once that is done, we will add some shortening and some butter. You could add all butter if you like or all shortening if you like. It doesn't matter. I will be using both today. So we will work this in by hand and just make sure it's evenly distributed. Once you're done, it should resemble breadcrumbs or wet sand. Then you want to go in with some cold ice water and just add a little bit, and you want to press and squeeze until a dough is formed. You want to avoid kneading this. Just press and squeeze until the dough is formed. Once it's formed, this is how it should look. We will cover this up with some plastic wrap and place it in the fridge, until we are ready for it later. Here I've prepared a baking tray with some parchment paper. We will set that aside and begin the process. So now I will flour my surface generously. You want to make sure it's enough flour there so that your pastry doesn't stick. And we'll go ahead and roll it out into a flat disc, like about 1/4 of an inch thick or so. And once that is rolled out, I will be using a small pot cover to cut my circles out. You want to cut them out and just continue this process. Once you remove the circles, you will gather up the remaining pastry dough and just start again. Next, we'll go ahead and add an egg wash around the perimeter of the circle, and then we'll begin to place our pineapple jam in there. But let's take a moment to admire the thickness and the yumminess of this jam. Now we will place the jam in there. You want to place a little bit, not too much, because it will just seep out and create a whole big mess in the oven. So we will now fold it over. You want to make a triangle. So we'll fold in the two sides over and then fold the bottom up, and that's it. Simple, simple. The egg wash should make sure it sticks perfectly. And yeah, we will place that to the side and carry on with the same steps until we are all done. Once you're done, you want to go over the top with the egg wash, and then we'll place this in a 375-degree oven for about 30 minutes or however long it will take for these to brown up. Don't you just hate a light skin pastry? I like mine brown, so I leave it until it's fully brown, and voila! Here you have it, the perfect pine tart. Well, it's really pineapple tart, but we call it pine tart in Guyana, and it is so delicious. Give the recipe a try for me, guys. You will not regret it. These were so mouth-watering. I could not wait to show you guys when you break it open. It was just flaky, nice and sweet on the inside, and chef's kiss. So like I said, give the recipe a try for me and let me know what you guys think. I will leave all the ingredients in the caption and the description, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Thank you for watching and enjoy.